life vlog. It's been 2 weeks since I filmed anything. 2 weeks ago, I sprained my ankle. So I had a whole week where I was just relaxing. I wasn't working out. And then the following week, I just did a few walks. So now I'm getting ready to just get back to my workout. So it's been a little rough. I woke up this morning and I wanted to just go straight to my workout, but that just didn't make sense. So I just allowed myself to make breakfast, have my coffee, and now I'm gonna get back to my workout. So I'm a little nervous because today I am doing leg day. And so I'm a little nervous of how my body is gonna feel after. Like, I know I'm gonna be sore this week because I'm just starting back on my workouts. But I am excited to be back with workouts. I really missed moving my body. Last week was really nice just being able to do walks, but now I'm excited to just get back into the swing of working out. So I only have 3 client sessions today. They're all virtual, so it's nice. And then I just have a few like admin work stuff. So yeah, let's get to do our workout. It is 9:14, so now I'm getting everything ready just to start work. Like I said, I only have like 3 sessions, and they're pretty spread out. I have one at 12, one at 4, and then one at 6, so I have a bit of time in between. So I'm gonna start my day with a little bit of admin work, which is something that I usually do on Mondays. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I was sensing that I was feeling a little overwhelmed, like out of my routine, and I'll talk a little bit more, I'll probably share a little bit more on my monthly reset, since you'll be seeing this video in April. But feeling very overwhelmed, out of my routine, had sprained my ankle. So one of the things that I wanted to do, I have my planner, I love my planner, it is a weekly spread, but right now, since I just want to get into the gist of things and really follow a schedule, which I haven't been doing, I ended up getting the like notepad version of my planner for like daily planning pages, which I'm not going to use all the time. I think I'm only going to use them whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, especially this week where I just kind of want to get work done and get back into like working out and stuff like that. So I'll show you what I have going on. Okay, so if you're new to the planning system that I use a planning system called the Hustle Sanely planning system, and this is it. You have a focus 3, so 3 things you're focusing on today. Like if you absolutely got nothing done, or if you absolutely just have to narrow down your focus to what you want to prioritize, these are the 3 that I'm prioritizing, which is I'm recording this day in the life. I need to do the newsletter draft for the monthly newsletter. I'll link it down below if you want to be part of that. And then I need to post every other Monday. I post a Instagram story for you guys to ask me any questions, and then I answer your questions. And then as far as other tasks, I have some UGC scripts that I want to review because I'm going to record content tomorrow. And then I need to do some re-credentialing for a EAP program that I'm part of. And then I also want to journal questions for my nutritionist. I found a nutritionist and I have my appointment tomorrow. I just want to kind of narrow down like what questions I want to ask her, my goals, things like that when it comes to working with a nutritionist. I've worked with a nutritionist before and I just really didn't think it was the right fit. So I really just want to make sure that this is the right fit. And so I want to have to ask them questions. And then with Hustle Sanely, you have what is called the Hustle Sanely 5. So basically part of it is completing your focus 3, moving your body for 30 minutes, tidying something for 15 minutes. One kind thing for myself, I want to get to bed early today. And then the kind thing for someone else is just show up for my clients, just, you know, be present. I really couldn't think of anything else. And I just think that that's always a kindness that I do. It's my job, but I also feel like I pour a lot of work into when I show up for my sessions. So I thought that is there. And then you have a little note section, and then here you have like your schedule. So I had my schedule. I woke up around 6. What I ended up doing though is I had my breakfast and journaled first, and then I did my lower body and my walk, and then I showered and got ready. And so now we're right here, which is my admin work. Then I'm gonna have lunch. Something else that I need to add is I need to cook lunch for tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna fit it right after this session. And sometimes I don't have time. Like, I think the only reason why I decided to do this, or like forgot to cook lunch yesterday for like for Tuesday and Wednesday, was because I knew I was gonna have time today. So that is kind of the planning system that I'm using for today. I personally like to give myself a lot of time for some of these tasks, because sometimes I think of my tasks and I think I give myself very little time, or like I put too many tasks in. But today I have enough time, especially when I have things in between sessions. My plan is to make sure that I leave today feeling productive. And then I did want to show you, one of you all asked me to show you my virtual space setup. So I'm going to show you that, just like all the equipment I have, everything that I use for like my virtual sessions, and just like do's and don'ts. So I will make sure I have timestamps for everything. That way you guys can skip to that. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is, since I already started recording, I'm going to post that Instagram story question. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, this is my handle. And I'm trying to be more active there. I only post the majority of the time on Instagram stories, but I am trying to, and I don't think it's gonna be this season of life that I'm doing this, but once I get like back into the rhythm of a routine, I want to start filming like a short form content, like day in the life content, because that's the content that I love to watch. So I would love to do that like in very short form, which is something very intimidating to me. I don't know why, that I just enjoy longer form more. But I do want to eventually do something like that sometime this year. I'm not saying it's going to be like next quarter, but yeah. So let's go ahead and post my IG story. Just a disclaimer right now, I am going to be talking about nutrition, so, and like weight and things like that. So if you want to skip this part, feel free to do so. But kind of typed out what I wanted to ask my nutritionist, and I put it on ChatGPT just to kind of get a little bit more of like, what am I actually asking? So these are some of the questions that I want to ask, like how should I adjust my calories and macros to shift from just a deficit of body recomposition. There's a lot of things that I genuinely don't know. And my previous nutritionist, like no fault to her, but she followed Health at Every Size, which for me just felt like we couldn't talk about weight or goals to lose weight. And if I would have much rather her like redirect me, like what you're really looking for is body recomp, what you're really looking for is reducing your body fat or your visceral fat. And I just never got those kind of responses. And so it just kind of felt a little bit like shameful for wanting to reduce my body fat or make any changes to my body. And even when we talked about like body neutrality, I even told her like, I don't hate my body. I love my body. I love what it does, but I do want to improve it. I want to be my healthiest self. And I just felt like we just weren't aligned with that. So this time around, I picked someone who did not stray away from any of the words of like fit, like trying to find like hitting your macros or making meal plans or things like that. I really wanted someone that could genuinely help and teach me. And again, I just didn't know that previous, I guess, approach just wasn't for me. I do believe that there's health at every size, but I really wish that she would have directed me of what that meant for me, right? Especially with my goals, right? Like redirect me, help me, educate me. And it just wasn't like that. So I do want to ask my nutritionist about just support for body recomposition, because I use the word weight loss, but really, I mean, I really don't care if the scale goes down, if I feel better, look better, like, and feeling myself better. Like the scale like doesn't matter, it doesn't determine my health status, right? So I really just want to learn a little bit more, and like, am I able to set a protein target? One thing that I've noticed on certain foods that I eat, I notice that I feel very sluggish after them, or like I have like a low blood sugar feeling. So I don't know, am I insulin resistant? Like these are questions that I have that I'm just like, can somebody just help me? Because the internet is just the worst place to kind of look for, and there's just gonna be so many people telling you to follow some kind of diet. I don't want to follow any kind of diet. I just want to learn how to fuel myself better. I want to know what I should fuel myself for strength training days versus lighter days versus post-workout meals. I also have texture sensitivities, and I think I've talked about this, that before I very much identified as a picky eater. So I wouldn't like try a lot of things, but this time around, like I feel like it's been, yeah, like a year and a half where I've just tried different things, different vegetables, and I just want to continue trying. So I definitely want to, given like texture sensitivities, can we explore protein and nutrients dense food that match my comfort level? It's just helping me build better balanced meals, like taking what I already do now and maybe making them better. And then do I continue to track my food, or do I move forward with more intuitive eating? I think intuitive eating is very hard for me, because my intuition tells me that I'm hungry. You know, like I struggle with my hunger cues. I'm not sure if intuitive eating is the next step for me. I think that might be along my journey, but what steps can I take to get to that point, right? I think so many people are like, okay, well, like just like intuitive eat, listen to your body. Right now, especially as I'm going through this journey, I don't trust that my body tells me what it exactly needs, because I have a very limited understanding and knowledge, and have tried limited, like have not tried as many foods to know what would be best for myself, right? So I can't intuitively, I don't know. I need some knowledge and before I can intuitively make decisions to make better choices for myself, right? I don't know if that makes sense, right? And I don't know if anybody could relate to this. Yeah, I want to ask some of these questions, and I'm interested to see what tweaks they may have for me, things like that. I love structure. I thrive in structure. I don't think, and in terms of like tracking food and things like that, I don't obsess about it, but I enjoy just having a way to see my progress, to have a non-scale victory win. Like I enjoy that. So I have a healthy relationship with tracking. I don't have an unhealthy relationship. Some people hate it. But for me, this is a goal. I don't intend to do this my entire life, but I do, at some point, I do feel as you learn and understand your body better, you can then make intuitive decisions, right? But right now, I don't think I can say that for myself, that I could trust that I know what my body needs, because let's just say I'm stressed. I think my body needs chips, like genuinely, like I think my body needs chips, and it might represent like needing something salty, it might represent needing sugar, like I don't know that, you know. So I just kind of need to learn a little bit more. I hope this makes sense, because I'm not a nutritionist. This is not my realm, so I don't necessarily know what I don't know. So I'm really excited to have somebody teach me in a way that's like tailored to me, as opposed to looking on the internet and trying to figure it all on my own. So yeah, so that was my experience with a therapist at Health at Every Size. I don't think that that represents every nutritionist, but I have also done some research where people feel frustrated when they necessarily go to a nutritionist with that approach, and they just shy away from having conversations about weight. But I just think in my sense, it's like, well, when there's a genuine like health issue, when you're feeling low blood sugar, when you're not like fueling yourself enough for your workouts to make sense, right? Like, and for you to meet like a health goal, like I genuinely think we have to talk about these things. And again, weight doesn't have to be the word. But yeah, anyway, end of rant. I'm just excited for tomorrow, and to, now that I have questions, because again, I had the thoughts and I just needed to know what questions I need to ask. I didn't want to show my little setup, so you know, just how I have everything. So I use this microphone. It's just the Yeti microphone. I'll link everything in the description. For my client sessions, I usually wear my AirPods. I have water, always. And then I usually have something to write my case notes. I use my iPad to write my case notes, and then I transfer them over into my electronic health record system, my EHR program, and I use Simple Practice for that. I'm a little early to my session, but I just wanted to show you just like the background. I tend to make sure that I don't have anything like in my background that would be alarming, you know, like if I left out some packages or things that have my location, things like that. I try my best not to have anything. Also personal things. I think everyone may be different. Like some people do like to have pictures of their partners or their kids and things like that. I personally don't. I think the only picture that I have there is from a retreat that I went to with some friends who are entrepreneurs, and they all have a social media presence, so I'm not so like weary of anybody knowing who is in that picture, because they already have a social media like page or business or things like that. So for me, that's why I just keep that picture there. But for the most part, anything that's over here is just things that I would be okay my client seeing, or if I would have my in-person office, it would have that. So I have my license right there, and then just like my books, my little nook area, which this should be here. Let's fix that. My little read nook area, and then where I charge my phone at the end of the night. And then there's nothing there. Like I literally keep it super clean just to avoid ever having. And then like at the end of the day, I will make sure that I clean everything. Now I think the most important, like if you're just starting out, making sure that, you know, for virtual sessions, you're not using a public Wi-Fi, that you don't conduct, you know, sessions in like a very like casual setting, like coffee shops, things like that. Also something like, don't forget a backup plan. My clients know that in Zoom, you just have to make sure that you have the HIPAA compliant version of Zoom. And that is just like a backup, because I do use Simple Practice in the event just something goes bad, or I will do a phone session if I need to, which again, utilizing HIPAA compliant. I use Spruce Health, which allows me to still use my same, like my personal phone, but be able to do everything through an app. So like Spruce with a different number. So that has been super helpful for me. I try to make sure not to like ignore body language either during virtual sessions, and making sure that I'm observing and seeing what is also visible with the client. I try to make sure, and sometimes I will say, like full honesty, sometimes this has been forgotten, is I make sure and confirm where they are at in in their, like, as far as location. Like if I see a different background than usual, that's not their house or anything, I just say like, hey, like, where are you at? Because sometimes I've had client sessions and they're like, oh, I'm at this hotel, or like I'm at yeah, I'm like traveling for work, and then I have to ask like, wait, are you out of state, or like, are you still in Texas? And they're like, oh yeah, like in California. And you're like, damn, I can't have the session. Sometimes, usually that only happens once, and the client understands that they can't sessions, we can't resume the session. And so in those situations, I definitely do waive the fee as long as we can reschedule within the week. And if not, then I just let them know in the future. There's always that one warning, and then in the future, I just let them know, I cannot see you if you are not physically in Texas. And we're having a session in Texas. So that sometimes has happened to me. And I always make sure that I don't skip like checking in with the client, like how they're doing, homework, things like that, that we maybe have talked about before. But yeah, equipment, just having a laptop, computer, webcam, super important, microphone, really having a good quality microphone is so key. Lighting, this room has really good lighting. It was only an issue whenever I was doing later sessions during the winter, but I make sure that I just put on a light on. Background setup, like I said, just making sure if you don't want any like personal things to be in the background, that's completely up to you. Again, it's up to you what you feel safe to or not show as far as parts of you to your client. I have this YouTube channel, so a lot of my clients can see my space and things like that. So again, everyone is very different in the sense of like what they feel they would be open to sharing with clients. Make sure you're testing your like tech in advance. I usually make sure the Wi-Fi is good, everything is good. You want to communicate expectations clearly, and like I said, I do have an informed consent that talks about telehealth and like its limitations and things like that. If a client's ever driving, it's like I've had clients who call me and they're like, oh, I'm almost home, I'm like driving, and I'm like, absolutely not, we're ending this call right now. You call me when you get home. And I do have that 15-minute grace period. So if they are more than 15 minutes late, it is considered a no-show. It's considered they will have to pay the fee, and that is communicated right from the front. Setting boundaries, you know, like with family and stuff, if like you have a partner or family or anything, like kids, just making sure they know when you are in session, things like that. Sometimes I'll put like a white noise if my husband is doing something, or if I have family over staying, to make sure, again, they can't hear me, but pretty much really can't hear much from here, from this room. I try to log in a little bit, a few like minutes early, just review the case note beforehand that from our previous session, and that has been super helpful. But yeah, I mean, I think other than just making sure that you have a HIPAA compliant platform, having a backup plan is so important. Making sure you just look in your surroundings and there's nothing weird, you know, like you don't want to have like your bar cart at the back of your like, I don't know, your background, or something that will give off your like home location and things like that. Would be like the do not do situation. You know, dress, sometimes people like when we have, I'm very casual with my clients. So like right now you're seeing me in like a little, you know, set. When I'm at home, I try to dress casual, you know, nothing offensive or anything like that, but I'm not about to wear jeans or like trousers or things like that. I'm gonna be cozy, and my clients know that. So again, it just depends on like what vibe you want to give. Like some people are super professional, they're gonna wear, you know, their blazers, everything, and sometimes I do that, like if I want a little bit of like an oomph that morning, like a little more confidence. I'm also filming a video, things like that. But I personally meet my clients where they're at, and most of us are just casual. We're just like wearing a t-shirt or wearing something, and I think that's perfectly fine. If you are someone who doesn't want to see a therapist because they're wearing like a set like me, then that's absolutely fine. You have every right to not want to see someone or see that as unprofessional. But for me, I'm not stressing about it, because I know my clients are not stressing about it either. They are here for me to support them, not to like want me to wear a specific thing. When I'm in the office, it's a lot different. Like I do like to dress professionally and, you know, do my thing. But when I'm at home, it's pretty casual. Something else, like don't leave any client info visible. Like I use my iPad. No one has the password to my iPad. Even the case notes, when I write them down, they're password protected, so no one has access to that. No one has access to my computer. I do not leave notes written about clients or anything. I do have a filing folder here if I ever have to print out things for clients. But then I take it to work and I shred those papers, and I also have a shredder here too. So, but I never necessarily have like health records printed, so I never have that issue of like having client information, but I do think just making sure that you feel safe in like your environment and stuff. But that is everything you need. Like I think don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Anyway, we're gonna start our sessions for the day, and I'll see you guys back whenever I'm checking in. I finished my session and I just did the case note and I got a package. I'm so excited. I think you saw in the last monthly reset I said I wasn't gonna buy any clothes because I have been pitching myself to brands to help with this next quarter 2 goal, which is to figure out my personal style. And one of the brands that I have been researching and I've been really wanting to partner with is called Quince, and they just sent me a few things to try and share with you all. I'll probably share another video on just like the in-depth look, because I wanna create like a spring capsule wardrobe. I looked at the site and saw what are things that I've been missing in my wardrobe since I've been on this fitness journey. I haven't really been wanting to buy clothes. Honestly, I've only been on like if I have been purchasing clothes, it has been workout sets. Going to lay everything out and see what I got. But I'm so excited because I did get to pick some options for myself. So I'm gonna put them in this little, I have this little, what is this called? Like a clothing rack. So I'm gonna add all this stuff. And then I think maybe in my monthly reset, you will see the capsule wardrobe options for myself. So I'll link everything that I got below, but I won't be trying them out today. I want to make a whole separate video on everything that I got and how I'm styling it, but I'm really so excited. I thought I'd show you guys what I got, because I got some cropped linen pants, because the ones I've already had some like black linen pants, but they're just really old and I always wear them, so I wanted to get a new pair. And then I got this washable silk top in navy, and I got a black cardigan, which I think would be such a cute transitional piece for the spring. And then I wanted to try their cashmere sweater. I think it's here 100% Magnolian cashmere, and it is so soft. I'm really excited to pair some of these things together. Getting ready for my next session. I have this one at 4 and then I have another one at 6 and I'm done for the day. But I also got a package today as well. And I knew this was also coming because this brand actually reached out to me about sending me their journal, which I'm pretty pumped. Came in this. So it says, your wellness journey starts here. Pulse of potential. Really cute. And I got to pick one of the journals. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, this is so cute. I didn't know this was coming. Oh, this is cute. For like when you're anxious, you could just, this is really cute, little keychain. So it came with this. This is the journal. It's called the Overthinker Guided Journal. It says here, built for busy minds, The Overthinker is a guided journal designed to help you quiet your racing thoughts, release negativity, and create space for peace. Really cool, really cool. I always like to try journals, and that way I could recommend them for you guys. Let's see what else. Ooh, we got a little mystery discount, and then just like a little card. Well, this is so nice. I'm excited to try this out. I'll check it out a little bit more. But thank you, Pulse of Potential, for sending that over. Really excited to try it out. I think I was also sent the digital version, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that they were like also gonna send me the digital version. I'm not a digital journal person though. I need to have like something physical, so I'm excited to try this journal out. I've had my last session for the day. I actually talked to my 6 o'clock to see if they could do early, and they did. So we just ended. It is now 6, and I just finished the last case note, which I'm so excited to like just be done with case notes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. It is 6 o'clock, and it is nice that I'm gonna take advantage of that and probably go for a walk. It's really nice when the sun is still out at 6 o'clock and it's still really bright out there. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you guys enjoyed this, just getting back to a routine, seeing some of the packages that I got. Trust me, I don't always get packages. I try to just film when like there's things happening, or if I don't have a lot of clients, that way I could share a lot of the day, because when I have clients back to back, it's really hard to film in between. And like, what am I going to show you? Like, I can't really show you like what I write on the case notes or the actual session. So thank you guys for just like coming along and seeing my day. And when I have like the space, it's not a typical day, because on the weeks where I have a lot of stuff, it's really hard to film. But I like at least bringing you guys along on some of my day in the lives, so you can see what it is like when I have these like these spaces, right? And like not feeling bad about sometimes not having all sessions filled. Like, it's gonna come with time. Some weeks are super busy, some weeks aren't, and that's totally fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you love videos like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I will see you in the next video.